in the dual enrollment um, process with our fellow instructors, and then we're going to address some of those engagement challenges that I saw some people were saying they were having. Okay. All right. So just welcome again. So if you can, please in the chat box type your name, the subject that you teach, and then one word that you associate with dual enrollment. All right, Miss Holiday, philosophy, high school, right? Sandra, environmental science, challenging, yes. Red tape, yes, yes. High school, yes, yes, yes. Physical science, okay. Intro to computers, Miss Sharon, high school students, yes, absolutely. Yes. It's different working with high school students, right? Prior to doing this, I was a high school biology and chemistry teacher. So yes, their minds are totally different than our college students. And like you said, there's red tape, is policies and procedures in place that we have to work with. Yes. Thank you. You too. Absolutely. Yes. So we are going to take today and kind of engage in a dual enrollment classroom, kind of see how it would feel. We want it to be active, we want it to be engaging, student driven, and then we also want it to be reflective, right? So for this particular workshop, we're going to do the 75-25 rule, right? So basically 75% of your voices, 25% of mine. And the only rule that we can maybe put into place is just to participate and actually speak from your own experiences, so that we can actually get in to it and actually kind of reach some of those pain points that we may be having. All right. So our agenda for today is going to be kind of like a little roadmap of experience and reflection. Um, We're going to talk about some different strategies and then how we can apply those strategies. What could we commit to bring into our classrooms? When we go back into our dual enrollment classroom, what is something that we can take immediately back and implement to help us in those classrooms? Okay. So we're going to start with a quick warm up, kind of like our high school students would do, right? So we're going to start with a quick write. I want you to think back to when you were in high school or college and think about what an instructor did that made learning stick. When I think about this question, I have two instructors that come into mind, and it's like that's the only two I can ever think about. But think about what they did to make learning stick. I'm gonna set a timer for a minute for this quick write, and then when we finish, we'll get to share those out. Okay, here we go. All right, time is up. Time is up. So, what we're going to do to share out, we're going to share with the partner first. So, we're going to use our chat box to share with the partner. And basically, what you're going to do is if you click on chat, you're going to see where you can send a chat to, right? So, right now, it might say to meeting group chat. You can click that little down arrow, and when you click it, you're going to see the names of other people and their numbers. I want you to find the person who has the same number with you and send them a direct message of what came to mind. What did that instructor do that made learning stick?
I don't see anybody else with that number two.
Number two,
All of them? All of
let's
them.
say you and Miss Trina could go together. Right.
What? What is it? Then, the,
I cannot see her.
Miss, you can't see Trina.
No.
the,
I tell you what, you could just put it in the main chat.
Okay.
Hmm.
Actually went to Eric Green.
Okay.
There's an Eric Green. Okay.
Hmm.
I couldn't find a number either, but I did just put something in the group chat.
That's fine. You could put in a group chat, and we have a few people
Yeah.
that aren't in with us, so it's okay. I think everybody else is. Ms. Beverly, you said in science and math, we had instruction, and then we did more like the instruction. Okay. Eric can
There's
figure out this direct
the
message the
note
best way.
further down that I said, when I, in my classroom as a teacher, I called it, the Dr. Green method.
Mm-hmm.
See one, do one, teach one.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember ER, Dr. Green was the doctor teaching the interns. And so that was his mantra: see one, do one, teach one. Because it's when you're teaching it that you really learn what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And that teach one is what the students are doing, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where the teachers, where, in other words, as a teacher, I teach them what it is, then they have to do it on their own. And then they have to share with a partner to make sure that that they both understand what they did. If they find errors, they can point it out. And if one made an error and the other one didn't, finding our mistakes are as important as finding the true answer.
Got you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing. Eric, you said the best instructors I had were genuine and had a love for the subject matter that made learning enjoyable. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. They came in ready and fired up, right? Anybody else want to share maybe something your partner said? You can come off of mute and share.
See, this was my partner. I didn't oh no, maybe not. It's Eric. It says, the best instructors I had were genuine and had a love for the subject matter that made learning enjoyable. So part of, I understand what made it stick for him is that he saw someone who really enjoyed doing what they were doing and sharing the message.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
I think on my
Anybody else?
side, they all showed a sense of loving what they were doing. Of course, they were researchers, and there's areas of expertise. But teaching wise, did not. It wasn't a time that we had PowerPoints. It was a time of um, just projecting, the from the Elmo
Mm-hmm.
and notes handwritten in many cases. Um, and it was a matter of delivering the class, and you copy what you could, and then you go home and read, and then if you can do study groups with your friends, which is what I did.
Yes. So it's kind of like copying the notes and then go and spend time with your friends in order to kind of grasp that concept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we would, compare notes and make sure that we understood what we were supposed to understood, but there was no study guides,
Mm-hmm.
no PowerPoints, no nothing. Just take what you
Yeah.
can and go with it.
And go
Use a
with it.
book.
Yep. Yep. Got you. Got you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of jump into and kind of deep dive into a actual learning, an actual active learning activity. And we're going to work together in order to do that. So we're going to work in small groups. Um, and we're going to design a 15-minute activity. Okay. We don't want it to be a lecture. We want it to be an activity that is a college level concept, maybe in your subject area. And then we want to be able to provide a support or a scaffold for our high school students. So we're going to have Grace is going to drop a handout in the chat. And when you access that handout, I'm going to pull it up here as well. Where is it? When you access that handout, it should look like this right here. And so that number, that color that's behind your name, that's the group that you'll be in, and that's the breakout room that you'll be in. So you and whoever has that particular color are going to work together to design this 15-minute activity. Um, be creative, have fun. I do have some examples for you as well if you would like to see them, but I just wanted to give you guys a chance to come together and create an activity together. Okay? Any questions about that? Let's see. So let's see. Did you drop the page, Grace? Nice. Give me 1 second. Let me drop this page there for you guys. Okay. So the page is in the chat box. Okay, I'm gonna close the rooms.
For some reason, my signal to join, I think it was Eric in the red group,
Hmm.
it went off the screen and now I'm not in the group.
I closed it because the breakout rooms weren't set up. I'm assuming we had a little tech issue with
Okay,
that.
so we just set it up on our own by ourselves.
No, I'm gonna set it up for you guys. Give me one
Okay,
second. They're all coming back, so it's gonna close them in about 3 seconds, and
okay.
then it'll open. I'll recreate them and open them for you guys. So give me one second.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
let's recreate. Um, hold on, give me one second. You guys.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I got it.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and close this breakout room. Grace, I'm gonna set up the breakout room. Okay, I'll set it up.
Mm.
All right. We are back. We are back. So I kind of went into all of the breakout rooms and I heard some great ideas as I was going through and great conversations happening. I wasn't quite sure if everybody got a chance to write on the handout. Not really, but it's okay. We can share out, right? So um I'm going to kind of bring up the debrief and maybe if you can choose one person from your group to share out some of your ideas, we can do that. Okay. So let's start with the red group. Red group. Somebody, anybody?
No one is jumping in, so I'll do it.
Okay.
Well, I was a little bit late, so I don't know what they spoke about before, but some ideas that I heard and that we discussed were like adding games
Hmm.
to the class and as a way of reinforcing activities and also encouraging engagement and making it fun, especially when you have students from high school.
Yeah.
So they really do appreciate that kind of hands-on and fun activities. And it's a great way of like really making sure they understand and they have learned and they've paid attention. So
Yeah.
another idea that came up is having them come up with the questions to add to the game. So
Yes.
that is
Oh,
better.
that is. Yes, absolutely. Enforce that critical thinking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
another idea was to have them teach to the younger students. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of, and one idea from there would be to have them put together a presentation where they teach.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
they teach a concept, sorry, or they teach how to use something,
Mm-hmm.
or a particular, in my case, a particular topic within my subject. So
Okay.
have them put together a short class that then they can present to the rest. And I mean, in the process of doing that, there's a lot of learning that comes with that.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ms. McWilliams, for sharing out with us. All right. What about the yellow group?
Eric, you want to
Yellow.
share? You want me to? Uh, okay. Well, well. First of all, my dual credit class that I'm teaching is actually online. So
Okay.
getting students engaged is still a question because they have an actual class period in their school day where there is a. When I did it last year, I was babysitting because
Mm-hmm.
I had to kind of hand the mundane things of making sure everything was working.
Mm-hmm.
But when I have a face-to-face class on occasions, um, I'd start the year where every kid had a different toy in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I could do is based on the toys and asking questions. And oftentimes the kids had to figure out how the toys work. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I could outline the whole physics year based on the toys that they had. And I kind of knew which toys I had. So I could ask, well, who has the little motor car that goes that has a wind up, or
Yeah.
who has the wave machine or whatever, and so that kind of engaged them. And then as the year went on, I could pull out the toy. Okay, here we are, and the mountain of toys. This is the one that we're working with that can demonstrate our concepts. Uh,
Perfect.
where Eric, my partner says he tries to keep his classroom a little more as he perceives the college classroom should exist, and so he has he's not comfortable just yet with games and other things that other teachers do, so he's still trying to manipulate that into his program.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you. Eric, what do you teach?
History.
History. Okay.
Yeah, U.S. and world.
US
So
and world history. Okay. Okay. Got you. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank y'all very much. And what about the green group?
Want to do it, Valerie, or you want me to do it?
Sure, I'll go. It's no problem, Sandra. Yeah, we talked about we also talked about games and gamifying the environment. And one of the ways we talked about was using Kahoot, which is a polling software that you can use sort of in the classroom or online. You can use it that way as well. And it's like real-time responses to questions and checking right off, like right there, real time, if they've learned what you talked about that
Mm-hmm.
day or whatever. So that's one of the ways we brought up, making it feel college level.
Mm-hmm. And still giving them that game, kind
That
of
game
concept.
feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And scaffolding, basically, as you go through the material for that day, you go from the more simple things to the more complex, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
will take care of that part and having the questions interrupting a sequence of just lecturing, for example.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Got you. And it definitely, I can say high schoolers absolutely love games. There's another one they really like. It's called Blue Kit, Blookit, Blue Kit. And they love it because they can do it for homework. You can scaffold your questioning as well. You can kind of uh have them work on it at home. They can work on it in class as a game as well. So it's one that I definitely use when I taught high school. And it was definitely something that they enjoyed, and it created a challenge for them as well.
Can
Um,
you please spell it again?
I'm gonna put it here. BLOOKIT, Blue Kit. There we go. Uh-huh. And so I kind of have some that I wanted to share with you guys too, like a concept deconstruction. Like I said, I taught science, so photosynthesis was something I taught in biology, right? And
Mm.
so in order to kind of scaffold it for a high school student taking a dual enrollment class, we may be able to do something like present the term to them and then have them create real world analogies or visuals that explain that process, right? Something that's really quick and easy for them to do in 15 minutes, but you can also assess their knowledge by what they write as their real world analogy, right? So you can kind of see there where if there are any misconceptions, how to address those misconceptions, and then what you can do, or what else you can kind of pour into them in order to kind of help them in that area. So I have some examples, kind of what those analogies could look like. They may use cooking food as an analogy for photosynthesis, right? And they may look at the process with the raw materials, applying energy to it, and then creating or having a new product that comes from it. Um, and then they can kind of do the same thing with photosynthesis and those formulas as well. Um, Legos, they do like to use Legos too, or making models with maybe the pipe cleaners and so forth, where they can actually create like a hands-on, a tangible item that they can use to actually make that analogy for them. This is another one that was online where this particular teacher actually had their students create analogies according to their body and their mind and soul is what they kind of use to kind of talk about, well, I need oxygen, and this is why I need oxygen. Plants need chlorophyll, and this is why they need chlorophyll, and kind of putting those two things together as to how it photosynthesis not only helps the plant but also the environment that's is surrounded by. And then just another one that might be really, really simple, but very good for high school students is just to kind of create a drawing and actually map out what the system actually looks like. Um, so this is just kind of one way they can take it. We give them the concept and they take 15 minutes to kind of explore and deconstruct it. Another one would be, and I'm not an English teacher, but just kind of like translating the text, right? Where they can take that complex idea and then make it accessible. So how do they do that? They can do that with let's say the word metacognition. Give them the excerpt or like a college level paragraph and have them decode it, where they actually identify those speed bumps, those things that's slowing them down, right? Where they can say, okay, well, I'll circle the unfamiliar words, underline the confusing phrases, and then we can jot down what we think it means. And they work in pairs. So with their partner, they may be able to decide and decipher, okay, well, maybe one of them know what awareness is, or maybe one of them are confused with what a cognitive process would be, right? And they kind of go through that and come up with a way to explain it. Um, in a way that's accessible for them. So I kind of have here where maybe the instructor may provide a vocabulary scaffold where the students can say, well, in my own words, this is what this means, or this reminds me of something else. Okay. And so then they can translate. Those pairs will rewrite the passage or the excerpt in everyday language. So they may say, well, this, metacognition means thinking about how you think and learn, like noticing when a study method isn't working and trying something new, right? So they create that, they translate that in their minds and with each other in a way that they can understand it and still have that rigor that's needed in that college classroom as well. So these were just two, and I can share this with you guys as well, just in case you want to have like a copy of it if it's something that you think you would like.
Keisha, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, this seems to me that's something that I could easily do in a synchronous class or if I'm
Mhm.
in the face-to-face environment. But what would you suggest we do when you have an online class that is asynchronous?
Um like using discussion boards and like in the LMS, like using those discussion boards. Um you can, and I've done this before, where you can actually create groups, like kind of like what we did today,
In the
where you,
discussion board, yeah.
mhm,
Yeah.
and you can have them work with that particular group. So the,
Okay.
red are the numbers and so forth. You can do that, and then also you can have them work together outside of the classroom, where they kind of meet with their group as well on they create a schedule for them to meet with a maybe a study group or a partner,
Lakeisha,
where they can do those type of things as well.
Lakeisha,
Yes, ma'am.
um, because my classes that I teach are online.
Mhm.
Um, we do have discussion, but the secret is there's a question that they all have to answer.
Okay.
Then they have to comment on answers by two other students. So in other words, there is a really a short way of saying that there is some discussion. So
Yeah.
and I've been really intrigued by what when they go to comment on somebody else's uh, entry.
Mhm.
It has been kind of fascinating to me and what they say, and of course either they're really using AI and doing a good job of it, or what they've done is learned how to write and give a response to someone
Yeah.
else's input.
Yes.
So I've been fascinated with that, and sometimes there'll be an attempt to correct. In other words, like don't forget you need to include these two other ideas, or you wrote this and this is how I described it,
Mhm.
and so it's kind of like trying to self fix or self correct,
Mhm.
or they see somebody else's explanation or response to the original question, and then they're beginning to rethink their own.
Yeah.
They can't go back and change it. They don't get to see
But
anybody
it
else's answer till their answer is in.
okay, that's good. That's a good way to do
And
it
yeah,
also.
and then they have to go and respond to two other people.
Yeah.
So but it means that I have to do a lot of reading.
Mhm.
And when
Mhm.
I have 45 students in a class and that's three entries from each student I have to look for, it can be a challenge on
That
my,
can be challenging, yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but it can be done.
Yeah. But again, it does put a lot of work on you. So, a way that, that I'm just kind of thinking out, just to kind of streamline that would also be to maybe, um if when they're answering that discussion question, like you said, have them answer in a group or answer just as a pair,
Mhm.
as opposed to, you know, having to write so many discussion answers and responses and so forth, where they can maybe keep it very minimum. Find one you can even say like, okay, look for someone who had a similar response and write a question to kind of ask them how, what next question, like what can we do more on this or so forth, where maybe instead of you having to read a long paragraph, it'll be something that you can
Uh-huh.
notice with their questioning, the way they're questioning.
Yeah,
um
sometimes we put a format. I don't know if anybody has had this experience, but we may put a
mm,
format of some, say, four bullets to answer four specific things.
Yeah.
and we come out with having to read two paragraphs. Um,
Yeah. That's a
that
lot. Yeah, that's
makes
a
it
lot.
very suspicious.
Uh-huh.
One thing that I've done with the environmental science, I divide the group into those that will be looking for information of an endangered species and then an invasive species, and they have to reply to the person that did the opposite, somebody that
Yes.
did the opposite one. So they're learning about both as they do the assignment. We're learning examples about both.
Think about it.
Yes.
One thing
And I
Eric
suggest
said,
you
and
can
we were
also,
talking about him beginning, he said that he normally likes to run a recap for what they did in the last 2 or 3 days and then link things together. But this might be a time where, based on what you've already done, um, uh, maybe it was a famous speech that was given,
Mm-hmm.
and that was significant for what the lesson was. Then to have the students write 3 or 4 uh, adjectives that describe the speech or to describe the event. Or when they, what is it in Lexington, when the first guns were fired that started the first war to get away from England, the
Mm-hmm.
Revolutionary War, then you could say, okay, suppose you're in the pub where this started. Think, give me 4 or 5 adjectives that would describe that event,
Mm-hmm.
and then have the students pair up and see what they would think. Of course, the trick
Mm-hmm.
is knowing that they understand what an adjective is, but I think they may have by the time they get in our classes. But I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
well, that would be a good way to that cross curriculum event.
yeah, absolutely. I love all of the ideas. That you guys are sharing. This was just one other thing that I wanted to share with you guys about the with the Padlet. Because you are working with dual enrollment students, I'm pretty sure you could have better success than some of my classes that I've had where because Padlet they can write and they can respond to each other. But this is just an example of a Padlet. The topic was renewable energy options, and then just giving them, okay, the first group is going to do solar power, next geothermal, next nuclear energy, and the students would write or they would include information that they felt was relevant to those particular topics. And this is something that they can have and they can share with amongst each other. I like to tell them, like, hey, you're the expert. What is the information that you would give if you're the expert and I'm learning from you or your classmates are learning from you? And so that's the way. Now, this particular one is not mine, but I'm just kind of, showing you another way that you can do it online. It doesn't necessarily have to be in class, but it's something that they can work collaboratively with, also, and still contain that rigor that's needed in the college level. All right. Y'all, I know we were having great discussions, and unfortunately we are running out of time, but I do want to kind of share and come back here with you guys to the application. Just kind of sharing just a reflection so much so I think that we all understand, and I've heard it in all of you guys' answers, that we learn from doing, right? So giving our students that opportunity to do, having less time of us lecturing, less time of us talking, more of them doing, um, gives them the heavy lift that they need to have, and also can help to increase those critical thinking and analytical skills that they're going to need when they are full time in college, right? And so just preparing them in that way with kind of creating that bridge for them where they can have some of those high school resources, but also just giving it to them in a sense of that rigor that's needed in the college classroom. So kind of like John Dewey, he says, we do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience, right? So they're going to experience things, but it's not until they have that time to reflect on it that they're going to be able to actually pick up and understand exactly what they were doing, right? So a lot of the time it's after those experiences or even during those experiences where they're like, ah, okay, and they make those little connecting points happen. But I wanted to share those things with you. I also wanted to let you know in the handout, um, I'll go back to it really quickly. In the handout, let me come here. My little thing is at the bottom. I have some resources there with some different strategies according to what it is that you're trying to do. So if you're trying to like facilitate inquiry and discussion, these were some articles that had some really great feedback as well as really great um strategies that you can use in order to do that. So I tried to include at least two strategies for um for each topic, but you can kind of take that and kind of decipher through it and see hopefully there are some things that you can use in your classroom as well.
Was all of this on the handout that we had a while
Yes,
ago?
ma'am. Yep. It's all
Okay.
the way down in that handout. Did you need it again? Or you have
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Well, for some reason, my computer has eaten it, and I can't figure out why.
Okay, let's go back. I can share it with you again.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, oops, that didn't work.
Well, if it's
Here we
in the
go.
chat, I
I
could go
got
back
you.
and find it.
For some reason, my fingers wanted to close the computer. I was like, no, don't do that. Okay. Here we
Okay.
go. All right. And
Okay.
so, just kind of before we leave out, I just wanted to share with you all. I think Grace is going to drop a link in the chat for you guys in closing. Just a survey link. And again, it's to find out and get more specific about some of the needs that you guys have and ways that I can assist with your department in helping to kind of work in partnership with each other to help this dual enrollment process be a little easier for you guys. So like I said, I have some people, some experts that I have been speaking to. Is at this point is a matter of getting the dates together and the times together for us to be able to have them come in and set up a question and answer session or a session on uh picking one of those pain points that you guys are having and see if we can have them, help you guys to navigate through those. For anyone who wants to join again, or anyone who you feel this would be beneficial for them to collaborate, we have another session October 29th, and then we have an in-person session on the 30th of October. And yeah, this is my information. If you have questions, if you have some ideas that you think about, feel free to, or please let me know about it. I will share the PDF with you guys. Also, I'll send that to you guys in email. I don't think I have it right here, but I'll send it to you in email in case you wanted to kind of have this as well.
Repeat the two dates. Was it, you said October 29th?
Yes, ma'am. October 29th is virtual from 2 to 3, and then in person on October 30th from 3 to 4 in the DLASC.
Yeah. Do you mind sending that out to us?
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I can. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Anybody had questions for me?
Hmm.
No?
No.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys for joining me today. And you were my first group, so a round of applause to you guys for being champs and the first to come on. And I will provide this recording for you all as well. Okay. Thank y'all so much, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.
Same to you.
Thank
Bye.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
session.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.